In 2019, a 19-year-old kid named Young Kio uploaded a beat to the internet. He almost didn't. He thought it was too weird. Turns out someone actually bought that beat for $30. That song became Old Town Road, the longest running #1 Billboard Top 100 song in history. That beat was made by a teenager in a small village outside of Amsterdam. The internet is going to try to tell you that you need a bunch of stuff to get going, but you actually don't. You don't need a $1,000 microphone. You don't need to be in a studio to create good music. You need two things, a program and you need sounds. So for the program, we're going to use Ableton 12. Ableton actually gives you a free trial for 30 days. And if you're not ready to commit to a paid plan, LANDR actually has Ableton Lite for free included in LANDR Studio. I'll put a link to the description down below. All right, so where do we get these sounds from? You're probably going to hear on the internet to download your sounds from this sketchy website, use this free link here, or to even like pirate stuff. You don't got to do any of that. You can get high quality sounds without doing anything crazy. So inside Ableton, you can install LANDR Samples. It gives you access to over 3 million royalty-free samples. Use it in your music, post it, upload it commercially, no issues. LANDR Samples in Ableton. That's going to be our setup. Let's make a beat. Let's find a melody, something that inspires you. There's a ton of different genres to work with. So if you like hip hop, fire. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and search for neo soul piano and see what comes up. All right, I like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and drag this into Ableton. Boom. If your DAW is at 90 BPM and the sample's at 95, you don't have to worry about it. Drag and drop it in, and LANDR takes care of the rest. It'll automatically sync to your DAW's tempo. All right, so we got our melody down now. It's easy to build on top of this. I choose to start with the melody first because it's easier for me to add drums on top of that complement the melody. So now we're gonna open a drum rack, which is what we're gonna use to play our drums with. Highlight your MIDI track, head over to Instruments, and then hit Drum Rack. This is where our drums are gonna go. So you don't need one of these MIDI keyboards right now. You can just use your actual computer keyboard. So in Ableton, you just highlight the keyboard icon up top. So once you click the icon, you can go ahead and click D, and now you can see that's where we're gonna put our kick at. So now all we gotta do is go back to LANDR Samples, and we're gonna search for some boom bap drums. And I'm gonna go for not loops and one shots, but just one shots. This will give me just individual drums, and I've got 23,000 results to choose from. Like that kick, drag it right onto that drum rack, it'll open up, and we'll drag it right on this first square here. There we go. Got our kick. Boom, and we'll repeat the process for all the drums. So now I want a snare, so I'll go back to LANDR Samples and find a snare. I can even just hit snare here, and I'm gonna go with this one, drag, drum rack. We're gonna put it on this square now. So now we've got, boom. We'll go back and we'll find a hi-hat. So I can remove snare from the list and just toggle hi-hats. I like that one. Same thing, drag, drum rack. All right, so now we got our drums. Boom. We'll put the kick on the 1 and the 3. We'll put the snare on the 2 and the 4, and the hi-hat will play on every other beat. Boom. And don't worry, if you can't play it all together, you can always do this. We can delete this and we can make 3 copies of this separately. So what we can do is just do the kick. And now we can go do our snare. And now we can do our hi-hat. And now you've got your drums in there locked in. Now just copy these over. So hit Command D again, and Command D again, and now you have a complete loop. And now we're going to take it a step further by adding our own melody on top. Let me show you how to do it. So in Ableton, you want to have a MIDI track available. I'm going to make this one purple. And on this MIDI track here, we're going to open up a sampler. We're going to go back to LANDR Samples now, hit Samples again, and we're going to type in One Shot Piano. All right, so I'm going to go with this sample, the very first one, drag this into my sampler, drop. Here's how the sound originally sounds like. We're going to drop it down a little bit. Boom. Let's make a bass line out of this. Got it. Now again, you can do this on a big MIDI controller, on your keyboard, or on a small, it doesn't really matter. You can use your laptop keyboard. It works in everything. All right, so we browse around, we found our foundation, then we find our melody, then we put our drums down. So we've got a loop going on. A loop is not a beat, it's just a loop. You gotta arrange it to actually make it an arrangement. It needs an intro, it needs a chorus or a hook, it needs an ending. Let's do that. Here's how I do it in Ableton. I think this is the easiest way to go. First, I get organized and I make sure that I have everything labeled correctly. So this was my kick, this was our snare, and this was our hi-hat, all right? We know that this was the sample that we played and made it into a bass line. You can copy things by just clicking copy and then pasting them here. Or if you're on a Mac, you can hit duplicate and it'll duplicate things forever. So for my intro, I'm gonna start off with just a sample. We can delete everything or we can hit 0 and mute everything. So now just the sample is playing. Now I want the hi-hats to come in, so I'll go ahead, Command E to split this in half, and I'll turn the hi-hat back on. So now we've got let's bring the sample back in now, and here's how we got it. And then from here on, you can section it however you want. Maybe you want to duplicate this again, and this is going to be your chorus section here. You can even add a little indicator, chorus, and then maybe this is where your verse starts. Verse. Maybe for the verse, you want to drop the bass out, you hit 0. Super simple. You put the work in to find the drums, find the piano, find the samples, make it all glue together. Take the time to arrange it into a song. All right, so let's recap. You need 2 things, Ableton and LANDR Samples. 4 steps to make your first beat. Find your foundation, add a melody, build your drums, and arrange your track from start to finish. Once you've got it how you want it, finish it by using LANDR Mastering to get it to sound high quality and professional. So you want to show it off to a friend. Everything we mentioned is in the description below, and now you've got your first beat done. What do you do with it now? Now, how do you get it on Spotify, Apple Music, and everywhere else without giving up your rights or paying pre-release fees? That's exactly what we'll cover in this video right here. See you then.